ADHD is a diagnosis that we hear a lot about these days. And while there's awareness, there's also a lot of misconceptions. And Dr. Rebecca Jackson from Brain Balance Achievement Center is here to shed some light on ADHD, other learning disabilities as well. How you doing, Dr. Jackson?
Hi, great. Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about brain balance and the fact that if you have a child who has development issues, if they have behavioral issues or issues in school, Brain Balance is a great place to go see why.
Absolutely. Brain Balance is considered a brain-based approach rather than a symptom-based approach. And bottom line is we're not trying to help the child compensate. We're trying to make change permanently to reduce those symptoms so the child isn't struggling with those pieces for years going forward.
Without medication.
Without medication. We're trying to make change.
And one thing that's always been interesting to me is the fact that in my 30s, I've never understood major chunks of my life. I never understood why I had report cards with teachers saying that I couldn't pay attention, why my mind always wandered, while I always tested really, really well on IQ tests, but never really made good grades, why I had read very few books in my entire life. So just having met you guys, I met with you, we went and did a study, and the results that we found out from my study were?
It was interesting. So we saw that there's areas of your brain that are functioning fantastic. So there's some really strong, great areas. And you've got some pockets of areas of your brain that aren't engaging as strong as they should, which complicates the output of those symptoms. So you struggled with noise. When there was layered noise, being able to hear things clearly, which would complicate things in a classroom. You struggled with a lot of different eye pieces. And so having really fast, efficient, coordinated eye movements, which impacts things like reading, it impacts taking notes in a classroom, shifting your eyes from that blackboard to your paper. So the regions of your brain that aren't as strong as they should really were going to have an impact on the outcome of academics, which is separate from intelligence. And that's that strong IQ struggled with report cards. And if there's complications in any of those regions, that's going to hold back that front part of your brain that gives you attention and concentration and focus.
And you know, so I actually was in the Brain Balance Center in Cary. So I've seen a lot of the things that you guys do to help kids with this.
Yes.
But is there something that you could show me now from what you've learned about me that'll help me in the future?
Yes, absolutely. And what's important to understand is we're not here to train what you're deficient in. So I'm not going to have you practice where you're struggling. We're going to give you specific exercises to really turn on and engage and fire those weak regions of the brain, because we want to permanently change this going forward. Now understand what we're going to do here today is a fraction of what we're able to do in the center.
This is just something quick for TV.
It is. If this was a workout program, this is doing push-ups and to lose weight and get in shape, you need the full program.
Gotcha.
But this is a starting point to move things going forward. So the first thing that we're going to do, because we need to specifically target that left side of your brain.
My good side.
Right. So we're going to have you hold that thumb straight out in the air.
Thumb?
Your right thumb.
Okay.
I want you to look straight at that thumb and keep your eyes on the thumb, and I'm going to have you turn your head all the way to the right, keeping your eyes on the thumb, and come back to center. And I want you to repeat that over and over. So this is an exercise that's triggering an eye reflex that we have that's mediated and controlled by a specific region of the brain, and keep those eyes on that thumb. The eyes are jumping a little bit. Great. And so we're doing this not because you're not able to separate eye movement from head movement, but we're doing it again to really specifically target a region of your brain to turn it on and fire it.
This is amazing. And also, you brought in a book. Let's talk about can I stop doing this?
Yeah, you can stop doing that. That's great. Thanks.
Let's talk about the book a little bit.
So the book, Disconnected Kids, this is one of the best-selling parent books out there. It's a phenomenal book written by Dr. Malello called Disconnected Kids. It's an entire book of activities that you can do at home that are specifically targeting regions of the brain to help children with areas like attention and focus, output in classroom, to help kids be more successful and to reduce the symptoms that they're displaying.
And one of the things you told me off the air last time, and I really want to touch on this, is what is your message to parents when they start to feel frustration with their kids?
You know, I think it's so important to understand that, you know, our knee-jerk reaction as parents is to say, come on, try harder, you can do this.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah. And to understand this is real. There's areas of the child's brain that potentially aren't firing or functioning. And so what we can do very naturally and easily, your child may or may not be able to do. So to understand this isn't behavioral, this is very real, and there's areas of the brain that can really complicate things for a child, which drives up behavior and frustration and can really interfere with output with life.
You guys have instantly added a lot of clarity to my life, and I know you're doing that to a lot of other kids. Thank you very much. If you want more information about Brain Balance and the Brain Balance program and how it can benefit your child, schedule an appointment at either the Cary or Wake Forest locations by going to brainbalancecenters.com.